Murals are large paintings created on walls, ceilings, or other surfaces. They are creative outlets that are known to be the most historical form of art formed by humans. Murals are typically found in areas of urban, suburban, and rural communities. Murals are used to bring colors to cities and portray a message that brings awareness to a larger audience. The majority of murals in Richmond are done by the contemporary artists from the Richmond Mural Project. Their goal is to design and construct over 100 murals within the first 5 years of the project, starting in 2012. Artists come from all over the world to contribute to this unique urban mural project. The next group of international muralists are prestigious artists who come together to brighten up the city of Richmond with their creativity. Murals come to the city of Richmond to attract tourists and help local businesses, but more importantly to liven the beautiful streets of Richmond while trying to convey a positive message to the community. Each mural contributes to create a larger story for Richmond through the hardships and triumphs that were overcome. Here are opinions of various students and staff from VCU.
How do you feel about the Richmond Murals in general?
I think that the Richmond Murals are an incredibly exciting way to interact with the regular people on the street, to the art students who are interested in having a platform to exhibit things, to the professional established artists. So it's a practical and real world and cost effective way, really, quite frankly, to link all of these various people together without having to kind of like indoctrinate, from above and tell people, this is how you should feel about art, and this is how you should accept art, and this is what you should do. I really like the murals because it takes it and puts it at a more approachable level that a very wide audience can enjoy and appreciate.
Yeah, definitely. So you clearly think they would positively affect the city?
I do. I think that I've heard I've heard certain people who maybe live in the fan or have perhaps longer established relationships with, say, for example, the fan or the area immediately around VCU, who are ambivalent about it. But I think it's pretty clear that those people of the younger generation and those people who want to actively engage with the city and the neighborhood and the neighborhood of what VCU is as a community. For them, it's a positive way to impact, the identity of the neighborhood in a positive way, and to leave a lasting impression. Fundamentally rooted in what it is they do as an artist.
Yeah.
To do something in a positive way. And I think that alone is what makes it a wonderful thing. Seeing that type of public art in my neighborhood, I enjoy it. It adds an extra level of, it adds an extra level of richness to a neighborhood that is already exciting and interesting, and people come to and are drawn to. And then on top of that, this sort of level of public art, I think that is very approachable. That's different than what you have at the VMFA.
Yeah.
That is still very much needed. And there's quite a few murals that I enjoy on the path between the boulevard and VCU campus on Main Street. So when you walk down Main Street, there's lots of really cool murals, and some of them I like the ones that aren't necessarily obvious. You sort of have to look down the alley, and then it's like, oh wow, there's that like 15-foot tall mural that sort of draws you into this space that you normally would not ever go into, and now there's this reason to stop and look. And that's something else I like about the murals, is that too many people don't look around. They're on their cell phone or they're doing something else. And as I said, the fan is already culturally rich, especially in architecture and buildings. There's just nothing else like it, certainly in Richmond, in Virginia. But to have this other reason to slow down, to stop, to look, I think is equally important, and only adds to the positive elements that the fan and the general area of VCU has to offer.
About them, Richmond Murals.
I really enjoy seeing the murals around town. It's a nice change from the neighborhood that directly meets with the more corporate downtown area, and to kind of see artwork in both places is really a nice continuation as you move throughout the city.
And do you think they positively or negatively affect the city, and how come?
I think if anything, it would positively affect the city. If you're driving downtown, they kind of give you a reason to either turn around and go back, and maybe get out of your car and see what you're actually looking at, and maybe visit the businesses around it. So I think if anything, it would probably positively affect the city.
I feel like it's nice for people that live in Richmond. It's like just more interesting there than just like a bunch of boring stuff.
Yeah. So I like the murals because they they bring character to the city, and it's definitely something that you don't see every day when you're in other parts of the country or even the state.